A really common question from parents is relating to footwear and shoes, and lots of parents have asked why their children or young people might prefer to not wear shoes, and if they do wear shoes, why they prefer them to be really tight. So they'll ask them to do up the Velcro really tight or do up the shoelaces really tight. So let's explore some of the senses that this might be relating to. If we think when we're not wearing our shoes, that person is receiving a lot of touch sensations, a lot of tactile sensations. They're feeling every different kind of surface on the floor when they walk from outside to inside. Inside when you go from a carpet to a lino flooring, from a bathroom to a bedroom, all of those differences they're receiving, they're feeling through their toes. So for some people who are seeking tactile sensations, that might be a reason why they prefer not to wear shoes. Another reason can be that when we process sensory information, we learn a lot more through our tactile sense a lot quicker than we do through any of our other senses. So if I was to feel something, so say if I was going to feel a new toy, I would receive a lot more understanding and information from that object when I was feeling it than if I just looked at it on a table. Sometimes you might have experienced this if you go into a shop and you feel the fabric of a top, and the feel of it is slightly shocked you because maybe you thought it was going to be a rough feeling and actually it was a really soft feeling. We learn a lot from our tactile sense. So for some people who prefer not to wear shoes, they might be doing this because it's helping them to learn more about their environment and they feel safer by being in an environment with no shoes on. Some people might not be wearing shoes to be giving themselves more proprioceptive awareness, so more awareness of their feet and where their body is. Some people might also walk on their tiptoes. When we walk on our tiptoes, we've got all of our body weight, all of our proprioceptive senses pushing down onto our toes, which means I'm really aware of where my feet are. When I'm seeking proprioceptive information by walking without my shoes on, I might stamp. I might really make sure that I'm receiving lots of pressure and lots of information from my joints and my muscles. This also supports why someone, if they do wear shoes, might like them really tight. For people who are seeking that proprioceptive information, to wear tight shoes, I'm all of a sudden really aware of where my feet are, whether it's laces, whether it's Velcro, whatever it is. Some people will want to be aware of where their feet are because it simply helps them to be able to coordinate their body, to be able to move throughout a space, especially if they're going into a new environment. Exactly the same reasons as I just explained about tactile sensations. If someone's sensory system needs extra support, so if they're seeking out proprioceptive information, it helps all of the other senses to work together, which means they're able to engage in that environment a lot easier. These are some ways that a person has found a coping strategy to be able to support themselves in different environments. Some people might not want to wear shoes in certain environments. That's totally fine. That's because they know how best to integrate themselves within that environment. One other reason, and it's really important that I mention this one as well, why some people might prefer not to wear shoes could be relating to a hypersensitivity within their auditory processing. When we don't wear shoes, we make a lot less sound. When we're walking around in our socks, we're making a lot less sound. Sometimes people will take off their shoes again as a coping strategy to be able to regulate their auditory processing, to be able to regulate the sound that they are receiving. For people who are hypersensitive to any sensory system, they will be the best at finding ways to cope within an environment, and especially for people who are sensitive to auditory information, they will need to be in control of all of those sounds in the environment. So if they can control one by taking their shoes off, that's going to significantly help them to be able to feel comfortable and happy within that environment.